Hey there, I'm Aki, and after I did a video on the things I would like to see in Subnautica 3, I thought, why not do the opposite? So, here we are. I'll just be listing some things the devs should learn from Below Zero, and talk about some ideas I've seen the community suggest that I don't really agree with. So, let's go. I've seen a surprising amount of people suggesting that we get weapons to fight Leviathans with in Subnautica 3. Now this could be just like a harpoon, or some people suggested rifles, or upgrades to the Cyclops, and while yes, it might be cool to fight a Leviathan with a super decked out Cyclops or war submarine, I really don't think it fits in Subnautica. There are barely any ways for you to defend yourself in Subnautica for a reason. It makes the Leviathans and even normal creatures a lot more scary. It also makes it more realistic, because if you're stranded in the ocean in real life, you probably don't have a weaponized submarine. At most you have something like a knife. And that most likely won't save you if a shark tries to eat you. So unless the next Subnautica game is a battle royale in the Subnautica universe, let's not add more weapons. If that is something you'd be interested in though, I think you might also like today's sponsor, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. As you might know, I love anything to do with vampires, so I'm really excited about this. Blood Hunt is a free-to-play battle royale in the World of Darkness universe, based on the Vampire the Masquerade tabletop game. And even for someone like me, who doesn't really play battle royales, it's super fun. They just released their summer update with a brand new battle pass and the all-new Team Deathmatch game mode. Here, 4 duos play against each other in 5 different arenas in Prague, and it's much more beginner-friendly than the regular solo battle royale mode, where you're gonna die a lot. Trust me, I know. There's also a content creator program you can apply to for any of you that want to make Blood Hunt content. You get access to exclusive digital and physical items, and an exclusive section in their Discord server. That Discord server is open to anyone though, so feel free to join and meet other players, learn about the lore and give feedback. And yes, there is lore in this game, which you learn about by doing quests for NPCs in the lobby, which I really like. Doesn't matter if you play on PC or PS5, Blood Hunt is available and free on both, and they even improved gamepad controls recently. So, go to the link in the description to download Blood Hunt, try the new summer update and support the channel. I mean, you can also just Google it, but that way you don't support the channel, so please use the link. Alright, now let's get back to the video.
Let the blood hunt begin.
In Below Zero, the devs tried a more direct and guided story, which a lot of players apparently didn't like. So for Subnautica 3, I think they should get back to the very indirect story of Subnautica. In Subnautica, you're almost never given a direct task. You're only asked for help with the lifepod distress calls, or lured somewhere by the promise of rescue, or your curiosity to go deeper. So I think that in the new Subnautica game, they shouldn't give you a ton of clear objectives, like go here, collect this item, craft that, repair this. Just let the player's curiosity drive the story. And probably also get them eaten a couple of times. That doesn't mean I think they shouldn't add NPCs, by the way. I think NPCs could fit well in Subnautica 3, but they need to be done right. Also, I don't think a voiced main character is a good idea. For a lot of people, it ruined the immersion first game had. They could identify with the character and have their own reactions to whatever happened in the game. Maybe a character that isn't quite as silent as Riley could be good. After all, a gasp or something would probably have been warranted after seeing his only hope of rescue being shot down by a massive gun. But avoid lengthy conversations. In a game like Subnautica, I think it's important to have immersion, because that existential dread and terror really work better when you're immersed. Talking about that, don't cut back on horror again. I know for Below Zero, you try to make it less scary so more people could play it, but I think a large part of what made Subnautica so successful was that it was a horror game in disguise. That gaping emptiness of the ocean, unknown sounds and a faint movement in the distance are all part of my most memorable moments playing Subnautica. And looking at YouTube videos and streams, it seems like that's the case for basically everyone else too. And of course, the jump scares and sheer terror of being grabbed by a Reaper or entering the void for the first time are also part of that. I think Subnautica needs at least a bit of horror, and cutting back on it isn't going to do it any good. Real quick editing Aki here, I think this is also the perfect opportunity for the devs to do something psychological horror based. I want to see a part of Subnautica where the player just starts to question their sanity a little bit. Maybe a creature like the Mesmer, but turned up to 1,000. Mesmer Leviathan, anyone? And last but not least, don't stack the map. You went from a fairly wide and open map in Subnautica to a very tall but thin map for Below Zero with lots of caves. Yes, underwater caves can be scary, but the wide and open areas of the ocean, where you can't see the bottom anywhere, are much worse. I don't think you even have to have detail in every area. In the ocean, lots of areas are just sand and a couple of fish, and that's basically it. And that's fine. That's part of the charm. I think that a larger map would be very good for Subnautica 3, even if some areas of it aren't as detailed as in Below Zero. Now, I'm not saying to not add any detail, but I think some less detailed areas in exchange for vast open spaces and deep cliffs are definitely a good trade. Plus, that would also allow for bigger submarines to be viable. Talking about submarines, don't reduce our options. Personally, I like the Sea Truck, but there are plenty of people who didn't. I think a smaller modular submarine instead of bigger specialized ones was a good choice for Below Zero, since the map was smaller and more condensed. But if you change the map like I talked about earlier, it's the perfect opportunity for more submarine variety. When I first discovered Subnautica, the thing that actually got me to buy it weren't the Leviathans. It wasn't the Seamoth, and it also wasn't the Cyclops. The second I saw that you could dock your Seamoth in your Cyclops was when I decided to buy Subnautica. So let us do more of those interactions. Don't limit the amount of vehicles or how they can interact. Wow, that somehow turned out very negative. I have to say, I personally really like Below Zero, and I think in most aspects it's way superior to the original Subnautica. These are just a few things I've personally noticed and seen others talk about, so I just want to make sure the devs knew about it. I even think it's very likely that the devs are aware of all of these, and Subnautica 3 is gonna turn out amazing. In case you're interested, I stream on Twitch twice a week, so come hang out, I would love to have you there. Now, thank you very much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye!